And of course, as we talk about all the reopenings, Toronto and Peel region now moving into the next phase here in the province. And this comes as Ontario continues to see some new daily case counts below 200, minus what we saw a spike yesterday, some steady decline in hospitalizations, and also some higher testing levels. Joining us this morning now to go through how the public can approach certain settings like restaurants, TTC, pools, beaches, all of the above, is infectious disease specialist Dr. Zain Chagla. Good morning to you, doctor.
Thanks for having me.
I want to begin here. Stage 2, do you think we are ready?
Yeah, I think so. The community counts are low. We're seeing a lot of disease in localized settings like the migrant farms, a little bit in the communities, but not a significant amount of transmission. As you said, hospitalizations, ICU stays are down. We can't stay in lockdown forever. And I think the next step is opening things up very slowly, carefully, thinking about the risk, looking for any disease activity associated with the reopening, and then fixing those problems as they come, rather than staying in a constant state of lockdown.
And I think we have to be vigilant. So let's go through some of these scenarios, especially when it comes to the reopening. So first, let's say restaurants. What are some things that people should keep in mind?
So restaurants are unique in the sense that you can't really wear a mask while you're eating, especially outdoors. So, big things are, first of all, for everything you're doing in public is making sure that you're not sick while going out. Even if you have minor symptoms, you stay out of public and you go get tested to make sure that you're not contagious and shedding the virus around. It's a good idea to take a look at the menu beforehand so you don't necessarily have to handle it for a significant amount of time. Make sure you try to make a reservation. You might be upset or not get that table at the patio if there's a significant demand, which there's going to be for the next few days. When you sit down for your meal, make sure you're washing your hands, take some hand sanitizer with you, eat your meals. Again, try, especially if you're not with someone that's within your bubble or social circle, try not to be sharing anything amongst the table in that sense. When you're done your meal, wash your hands. And again, just be considerate about the other people that are waiting to use the patio and waiting to use the restaurant. If you were, trying your best to get that reservation or get in, there's probably 4 other people that want to use that same restaurant or reservation. So just important that you're also considerate to others. As we open up, people are going to be really, really happy to do things, but you also have to be considerate for others who also want to do the same things.
Absolutely. Those are good tips. But the appies, those are my favorites sharing. But unless they're in the bubble, not in the bubble, good tip there. One thing that a lot of people have questions with is the pools, the beaches, there are the change rooms. And obviously, these other environments open things up to possible virus spread. So what are some tips when it comes to these areas?
So you picked out some of the good points. So, being outdoors and distancing is actually really safe. The ventilation we have outdoors, the UV light outdoors is actually relatively safe for spread of the virus. It's when we get stuck in those settings where there's a lot of people, or we get stuck in a poorly ventilated closed setting, which a change room is a perfect example of, where you can start seeing spread. So when you get to the pool, it's a good idea, to shower and put your bathing suit on beforehand so you don't have to use the change area. Try, if you do have to use that type of communal setting, like a change area or washroom where there's going to be multiple people, poorly ventilated, that might be a good idea to bring a mask with you. When you're going to the pools, again, as long as you can keep your distancing, try again to, have alternate plans if the pool or beach area is completely full, like we saw in Cherry Beach and some of the other beaches over the weekend. A lot of people just kind of kept going with their plans, regardless of the number of people that were there. And again, similarly, when you're exiting, dry off, try to go back to your car and change kind of at home rather than within the change rooms. And spend an appropriate amount of time at those facilities so that other people can use them too.
All really good tips. All seem like common sense, but let's hope everyone does use their common sense here and we'll get through it all together. Dr. Chagla, thank you for your time.
No problem. All the best.